We are live. Welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning from wherever you're going to be connecting from. Today is our fun Friday. Welcome to Queen Amina Show. I hope you guys had a great week. Our guest today is Susan West, all the way from London, England. She will be joining us for a chat this afternoon. While we're waiting for her, I had posted something on my Facebook page, and everyone is asking, what is the music? Where is it from? I think the little boy, is such an amazing dancer. And a quick shout out to all of the frontline workers. We appreciate you. We continue to pray for you. The nurses, the essential workers, and the providers. So we just bless your heart. We thank you so much for the work that you guys are doing. The people doing goodwills, people that are just giving things out on their own, just helping neighbors and communities. We just thank you. It is a trying period, and we will get through it. We believe by faith that it is over. We're just waiting for the day that it's over. So it's never going to last forever. Hope everyone is staying home and staying safe. It's a beautiful day, Friday weekend. Woohoo! We're going to have fun. So we are waiting for our guest to come on behind the show. To come on the show, sorry, not behind the show. We want her on the show. Also, a quick shout out to Lillian Emefiele. She has a show online, 11 o'clock. She has a series going on now. And official Isokem IB on Instagram. She is dealing with the movie industry, the future of the movie industry. What is it now? How can we go forward? So make sure you're connecting with those two lovely ladies and what they're doing, and many more people. We have Pastor Sam Oye that is teaching on relationship right now, 1 p.m. on Facebook. So there's so much stuff that you can be watching and learning and just taking everything in. I hope you are connecting with one of these platforms and also connect with us. So keep watching the Queen Amina show. Let me see how Lillian is doing. She will be on soon. But before we finish, since it's our fun Friday, let me play this for you. Anyways, I'm sure I'm going to play that back for you guys again. We have our guest waiting right behind. Let me bring her up. Hello, Susan West.
Hello, Amina. Hello.
How are you doing?
Very well, thanks. Very well.
Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking out time to join us today.
Not a problem. I've been watching most of your episodes, not all of them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. People like you make us want to wake up every day and come on the show. So thank you for that support. Yeah. Susan West, just a little bit about her. She'll tell us more. She's a TV presenter with NTA TV in Nigeria. So for you that don't know, NTA is National Television Authority. It's one of the major stations in Nigeria. Actually, one of the first. Am I correct?
In Africa.
In Africa. Wow, in Africa. Okay, so that's huge. She has her own show also, Susan West Show. She's a life coach, Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm a certified life coach and also an insurance advisor here
and
in the UK.
An insurance advisor, that is an interesting one. We should talk about insurance because our people don't believe in insurance. So maybe that we're going to get a day that you will come and actually teach about insurance. The funny thing is, I am a certified insurance professional too.
Oh,
I've done insurance
fantastic.
for many, many, many years. And,
Right.
I just dropped it, I think, about 6 years or 7 years ago now. So insurance is such a big, huge topic. So we would love to have you back on the show just to educate people about the importance of insurance. So that's for another day. Today is
Absolutely.
our fun Friday, and we are going to have Susan to take us through a lot of things. Possibly she might just sing something for us because she's a professional jazz music singer too. So
Woo!
we might be getting a treat from her. So just hang on, don't go anywhere, share the video, share the broadcast so that people can hear and gain from the valuable information she will be sharing with us today. So, Susan, let me not talk more because if you leave me, I'll talk forever. So,
I know. That makes the two of us, actually. That makes the two of us.
right, right. So, please just elaborate a little bit more about yourself so people get to know who you are and
Okay.
how they can follow you on media. Give us all of that.
Right. So my name is Susan West. For many people in Abuja, of course, they know me already as a television and radio presenter. I was a presenter in Nigeria of NAFDAC and Your Health for over a decade. And also, I've had different shows on NTA. The Susan West Show, Repartee, produced for the NTA Entertainment. And of course, also as a producer, I have produced a few documentaries for certain government agencies. I'm currently living and working in the United Kingdom in London and working as an insurance advisor. I'm also a certified life coach. And of course, singing is something that follows me everywhere in everything I do. Somehow they get to know that I'm first a singer before anything else.
I love that. Music is such a
Course,
general.
I'm a mother, sorry. I'm married. I'm a mother of two beautiful, fantastic children that make my world pop.
And a beautiful wife to a handsome guy, I must say.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was just saying, music is such a universal language that uh, a lot of people they don't really understand the power of music. I love music. Music is a language you can speak anywhere, in any time, at any time, anyhow, and it still gives somebody a message. Sometimes I listen to music in Yoruba. I don't speak Yoruba, but you see that you're just feeling the rhythm and the beat, and you
Absolutely.
know such a powerful therapy too for a lot of
Music is a spiritual thing. Music is a spiritual thing, and every human being is first a spirit being before they are physical. So when it comes to music, music is is a universal language that any human being can understand, regardless of your social status,
Mhm.
your color, your creed. When music is being played or performed, it it transcends the physical, and that's the reason why you listen to a song in a language you don't understand, and but there's a connection.
That's
It's in
right.
a different realm. It's communicating with your spirit man, and that's the reason why music is such a powerful tool.
It is. And hopefully you will be able to treat us to one song today. So we'll see how it goes. All right.
Right.
So we're just gonna dive right into the main topic today. You're gonna see us digress a lot because I went on your page earlier and I saw the
Yeah.
passion for our continent, Africa. But before we go into that, you are a media personality. You've been in this business for many, many years. Media has become not just a place for information, good information anymore. It has become a tool, a dangerous tool that is paralyzing a lot of people's emotion. A lot of families break up because of what they see on media. Relationships are shattered, just horror on media. What do you have to say about that?
The thing media, the term media is it's a term that is used as it's a medium to disseminate information. Is a tool for communicate. Is a tool that is used for communication or to communicate. And media will come in different form. Of course, we all know about media. Print media and electronic media and so on and so forth. For instance, in this generation, we're so blessed to have the social media, which of course is also in form of electronic. And the truth of the matter is, media will be what the society wants to make tool that is used for communication or to communicate. And media will come in different form. Of course, we all know about media. Print media and electronic media and so on and so forth. For instance, in this generation, we're so blessed to have the social media, which of course is also in. What's going on? I'm getting the feedback of everything I've said. Tool that is used for community.
Are you getting the feedback?
I just heard everything I've said as if to say someone was playing back a recording for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's crazy. Is it still happening?
No, it stopped.
Okay, perfect. I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Right. So before now, we only had a few, where not many people had access to the kind of media, broadcast media on television, on radio, and of course, print media, which is newspapers and magazines. And of course, there are different forms of media. But talking about the one that it's most effective in this generation, that would be social media. And social media, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have so many of them. I can't even link. You have the LinkedIn, you have WhatsApp. These are all social media platforms, and there is it is a powerful tool. And the beautiful thing is, as ordinary people, we have power now. But with power comes responsibility that a lot of people don't understand. And perhaps there's a lot of people who don't understand how powerful the Facebook page or the Facebook page they have, or the Instagram handle they have. They don't understand how powerful it is, because when we use media to the benefit of society, it is a great thing. When we use media to unify, to disseminate information for the benefit of society, it is beautiful. But we also have begun to understand that with everyone being able to have access to media, and anyone can broadcast anything anytime they want, it's also come with some negativity. And so when it comes to social media, you want to be a person who uses the right way to use social media. Let me put it that way, would be okay, let me communicate as though I'm talking to someone.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
So you want to come on social media, and because everyone has a social media handle or a Facebook page and they're doing stuff with it, and you want to ask yourself before you start posting things, writing comments. If you want to do yourself good and be true to yourself, the first thing you want to do is to be yourself on social media. How? Because you don't want to end up putting out to the wide world something that does not reflect who you are, so to speak. So for instance, you want to ask yourself, who am I behind the camera when I'm just in my house, when no one else is watching? Of course, many of us come on social media and we do a little, acting, or a little wanting to give what we think people like to see. But the core of it should be about who you are.
Hmm.
When I come on your Facebook page, for instance, okay, I'll give you an example. There are times I have over 2,000 friend requests, and I've had these number of requests for a very long time. The reason I don't accept anybody, because we all grew into social media and began to understand the dangers of just clicking yes, 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 yes to everyone. So what I do is I go to your page and I want to read what your bio says. And if your bio doesn't speak much, I go to the things you've posted, the things you have said, the I will literally scroll down to months and months of your posts if you strike me as an interesting person from the onset. So I will do that. And then when I've seen and read the sort of things you've posted or said in the past, then I begin to understand if you are the sort of person that I want to have on my friend list. So when you post things, you're telling us that this is who you are,
Hmm.
basically.
Wow.
So your ideas, we can read your mind. We know who you are from the things you've written, the kind of, even if it's just when you forward or you share messages, because I wouldn't want to see, I wouldn't want to see, I don't want to share someone else's broadcast that doesn't that it doesn't fall in line with my values, for instance, you know. And so, yes, when we come on social media, we should first ask ourselves who we are. And if you're one of the people who like to come on social media to act and be someone totally different, you want to sit back and ask yourself that without, if no, no, that's not what I meant to say. What I wanted to say is there are people who are confused as to who they really are. They're not sure who they are. If you want to help yourself, ask yourself those pertinent questions before coming on social media. You should ask yourself, who am I without social media? What would I say to this person if this person was standing right in front of me? If I read something and I'm going to react a certain way, this reaction I'm going to post for the world to see, is that the way I would react in person? And if the answer is no, then don't react that way, because you can't take it back once it's gone, especially on social media, and
Hmm.
it will come back to haunt you. And of course, even in this from the spiritual angle, when we say things that is not really us, when in your quiet moment, it's something that you're battling with, it's something you're struggling with. So um, those are one of the things. And another thing is, you want to use social media effectively and positively. You don't want to push an agenda using social media, so to speak. One of the reasons why the mainstream media have lost credibility to a certain extent,
Hmm.
it's because a certain TV station is affiliated with a certain cabal of
Big
people,
guy. Mm-hmm.
powerful people, wealthy
Hmm.
people, rich people. And so when you are, for instance, living in a community or a society where you experience certain things and you know what your realities are, and then you come on television and someone is propagating lies,
Hmm.
over time, we've all grown to begin to understand that whatever we see on mainstream media is no yay and amen, and it's not always the truth. It all depends on who their sponsors are, who their friends are,
That's
and
true.
then they carry an agenda. So you don't want to bring that into social media as well, because you don't want to hurt people. You don't want to keep you just want to be yourself.
Hmm.
Another thing is, you don't want to also, another thing you don't want to use social media for is negatively bringing your personal relationships, you know. Like for instance, there are times when I have seen people post their marital issues
Yeah. Oh
or
my
this
God. Yes.
relational issues on social media. Everybody everybody have issues,
That's
believe it
right.
or not. And simply because you have brought yours on social media doesn't make you a more real person, so to speak. Some people will say, I'm a real person, I'm real, I don't pretend. Yes, I don't pretend, as I don't like to pretend. There are times when it's better to pretend, I would say, though. But the truth of the matter is, you don't want to bring relational issues on a social platform. Everyone has a problem, because you don't want to hurt the people in your life, whether they are your friends, whether they are family. You don't want to hurt these people, because even that anger will pass. Whatever it is, the situation will pass. And
Mhm.
when it passes, you've already brought it, your dirty laundry
Yeah.
in front of the whole world. And when that happens, you can't take it back. Of course, also, you don't know how much you're hurting the people in your life by bringing it into a forum where the entire world have access to it. The
Hmm.
people watching, of course, once you do that, it's a Pandora's box that you've opened. The moment you bring your personal issues to social media, any and everybody will come and have something to say. And when they do say, do not pick offense, because you brought your personal issues to the forefront, and everyone else have the right now to speak. And you might not even like some of the comments other people will make. So you don't want to start something and end up fighting the entire world because now you don't like what this person's view is on what you have said or posted. And of course, you don't want to hurt people in your life, who of course at some point have not always been ugly anyway. And
Hmm.
of course, um, one of the things I use my Facebook platform for is encouraging people. I
I
love
see that.
encouraging people. It's
Yeah.
just something that comes naturally to me, whether it's a spiritual thing or just a positive saying something, or just help somebody get clarity to certain things they might be struggling with by just writing a few lines. Sometimes I write poems, sometimes I just write anything, or I just share something I've read somewhere that have impacted me positively. And sometimes it's just about sharing information. I am crazy about. I am not one who will get an information I want to keep it to myself. I um i i will just, the moment I find that it's beneficial to me, I know there's someone out there who's going to benefit from this information, and so I share it as well. So you use social media platforms that is available to you to encourage people. And another point, of course, you can celebrate yourself, celebrate your gains, celebrate your wins, anything you've done that you've succeeded. It's not about showing off. People misunderstand it. They think, I've read on Facebook some people going at other people saying it's a fake life. This is not how it is in their real life. They're taking pictures, and um, of course they call them slay queens sometimes. But the truth of the matter is, you there was a time I posted something like, fake it until you make it.
That's a
It
true
wasn't about
statement, though.
faking it. I can't hear you, Amina. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, I couldn't hear you for a moment.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yes. And so, can I go ahead?
Yes, please, please.
Right. So, for me, it's not about faking it. Sometimes faking it, fake it until you make it. For me, it's almost like a faith statement. You're not necessarily hurting anybody by faking what you want to see, who
That's
you
right.
want to see, who
That's
you want to become.
right. Mhm.
So it's not about being telling lies. Okay, so what? I live in face me, I face you in real life. But when I do go to places that is fancy, I go to a five-star hotel, or go to a very lovely home. As long as I don't put it on social media and say, this is my home, but I'm showing up this place because in actual fact, this is the way I want to see
Beautiful.
myself. This is what I want my life to be like. This is what I want my future to be like. So if that's a sense where you're faking it to making it, there's nothing wrong with that. You have to celebrate yourself. You have to celebrate your wins. You have to celebrate your gains.
Hmm.
And celebrating your gains is not a show off.
I totally
You know,
agree with that because you're living a positive life, which would attract
absolutely.
eventually positive things to you. But do you have a problem with people that would sort of,
Sorry, your audio is very low. I can't hear you.
is it better?
What's going on?
What is going on? Don't do this to me today, this audio thing.
Sorry, just give me a moment to sort out the audio. I'm not sure if it's from my end.
Okay. Is it better?
Go
Can
ahead,
you?
go ahead. I can hear you, but very faintly. I'm hoping I can hear what you say.
Hmm. Let me just give me one quick second.
Right.
Like here. Is it better?
It's still the same. I don't know. You were quite audible
I can
earlier on,
hear
but
you so clear. And guys, can everybody hear both of us clearly? But your audio is perfect over here.
okay.
Yeah. Anyways, if you can hear me, I'm gonna try to like maybe scream while I talk louder. My question is: the people that go on social media and take pictures with a fancy car or beautiful space in their home and showing things around, is there a problem doing that? I was very uncomfortable shooting live from my home when I started. If you notice, I shoot very tight because the truth is, some people don't even have a home. And then you come out and you're showing all your goodies, and it could hurt somebody. What do you think?
To be honest with you, I'll use an example. The example I'm going to use is when you see billionaires, when you see billionaires, very multimillionaires around the world, they are not the ones who want to put on the big label names.
No.
They're not the ones who want to show off where they are
No.
or what they're doing all the time. The people who want to show off that they're wearing a big label, a designer wristwatch or shoes and stuff, are usually people who are just aspiring. I am not going to put anyone down. These are people just aspiring to have a good life. And
Mm,
like I say to people, and sometimes some people will say, white men, white people just are very modest. They are very modest. They're very wealthy or they're very comfortable, and you see them just wear a t-shirt. But an African man or a Nigerian man would want to wear this. And I say to them, have you stopped for a moment to think where that person is coming from?
mm.
Have you
That's a
stopped
good
for a
one.
moment to understand what the person's mindset is? Have you stopped for a moment to understand what the person's struggles have been, what kind of society they live in, the kind of what they had to go through to be able to afford that lifestyle?
Mm,
Coming back to your question, the people who come on social media taking pictures in places, expensive cars or expensive homes, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. The only, like I said, the only time it is wrong is when you tell a lie. For
mm,
instance, if I went to um, Richard Branson's home or someone very wealthy, extremely wealthy, and I take pictures and I try to act like that's where I live, that's my home, then that's a lie. But if I want to identify or I want to show that I went to this lovely place, is for starters, the reason why you're taking pictures of those places because that's not your daily lifestyle.
mm,
That's not where you live every day. That's not what you do every day. You don't do wealth and riches every day. So the time, the opportunities you have to be in such affluent areas or places or with people like that, you want to take pictures to show it off. It's kind of like walking accidentally or by providence walking into some superstar. How many of us walk down the street and take pictures with Tom, Dick, and Harry walking by? But the moment you run into someone who is famous, you want to take picture, you want to show the world that you met this person.
mhm, mhm,
Same goes. There is nothing wrong with someone who comes from a lesser background going to a place that is more beautiful, more sophisticated, and wanting to show that I was here or I've been here before. The person who should really have a problem is the person who is hating because this person is showing off. Yes, absolutely.
mm,
Why should you have a problem with someone who's taking pictures of a nice place they visited or a nice home they visited or they're wearing nice clothes? Yes, it's an achievement for them. For crying out loud, you allow people to celebrate themselves, do whatever makes them happy, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else.
That's beautiful. Thank you for responding to that. I'm still going to ask some more questions on social media. Is there anything like good social media or bad social media?
Of course,
Okay.
there is everything in life has the good sides and the bad sides, but
I
when the
agree.
negative outweighs the positive, then it's not good anymore. You
Okay.
know, for instance, social media have helped us connect.
Just like right now.
Exactly. I mean, how else could it have been possible that I'll come to Canada
Just
to just
for
have
an
this
hour
conversation with you, or you're
and
going to come to the United Kingdom to just have this conversation with me? Social media has a lot of positivity, positive things about it. Social media have helped families stay in touch in a fast-paced world that we live in today. For instance, I'm here in London. I've got family back home in Nigeria. And because of these platforms, I'm able to stay constantly in touch with my family and friends. And it almost feels as though you haven't even left them
I
at
know.
all, other than the fact that, of course, you're not physically there to enjoy certain things. So, where social media is terrible is the fact that someone can actually steal someone's identity, for instance, and do whatever they please with it, and cause a lot of psychological, emotional problems for someone.
Mhm.
For instance, there was a time when we all started, we're trying to get used to how things worked in on social media. There were times when you would not understand how someone else just comes to your wall and paste or post nude pictures of people
Something
you don't
nasty.
know. And it was quite confusing for a lot of people who didn't understand. They're like, I didn't post this. Why is this on my wall? You know, and these things have, of course, a lot of people now know that these things are possible, and of course, there are measures to available for you to make sure that you're safe in your space on social media. And of course, social media also have contributed into certain people's mental negatively affecting certain people's mental health, you know. And for young people who are on social media, it causes a lot of young people to have issues with, there are bullies out there. Of course, there are people who have been bullied, and not everyone have the mental capacity or strength or emotional strength to deal with people who don't know them, who they don't know, saying things about them or throwing insults at them. So yes, these are negatives, but the moment, especially for young people, if you're able to educate them on how to stay safe on social media, there are so many benefits. I have had the opportunity to expand my knowledge just by using a lot of social media platforms. I mean, these are things that you would pay so much for someone else to come and teach you or train you or give you certain information. And right now, it's, at the snap of a finger, you can get any kind of information you want. So for me, I think that social media has more positives than negatives, of course. Um, but the positives really do. For instance, I'll give you an example. We're in a lockdown situation. Can you imagine being in a lockdown without social media? This era. Of course, we understand that with the technological prowess of this generation is how somehow we get into the problems that we find ourselves in. But I mean, we're here. Some of us have been locked down for over 4 weeks, and we are not we're not going crazy, other than the fact that we can't physically leave home and exercise and do certain things I would love to do. So yes,
There's a
without
lot.
wanting to talk too much.
No, no, good, good. You're talking valuable points because a lot of times people think social media is just bad, bad, bad. No, there's a lot of good. It's like you rightly say, you will not fly to Canada just to sit with me for 1 hour and start flying back. That would be, you would do it for me, I know, but it would be a complete waste of time, of 7 hours wasted time flying here and another 7 hour going. One thing that I personally agree don't do on social media is, if you notice through my page, you never see my children, my husband, my what I'm doing daily. And no, you don't need to give strangers updates about your life. You don't need that. A lot of haters are out there listening and watching what you are doing so they can be ahead of you to be able to find a way to hurt you. Like you said, there's a lot of bullying on social media, and it goes viral so quickly that, somebody would go commit suicide because they posted a nude picture of you when you were doing whatever you were doing, without knowing that that person was taking pictures or videos of you. So we got to be careful. And another thing that, just to buttress what you were saying, is take yourself as if though you're walking down the street and you saw a stranger, and then you start telling that stranger, oh, by the way, look at what I'm wearing today. Oh, I'm eating this. And that's what social media could feel like when you think of it in a way, saying that this is a world where you don't know who is watching. Would you do that? Would you be walking down the street and just see a stranger and start telling the stranger, hey, this is what I'm wearing, hey, this is what I'm eating today? You wouldn't do that. So why are you doing it on social media? Just to add to what he's saying, be careful on social media. There's a lot of good on it. Use it. Use the good and use the bad. And another powerful thing that you said is, don't add every and anybody to your page. When I started social media years ago, Facebook, to be precise, I didn't know what to do. So I thought the power of it is to get more people on your page. So I just accepted every and anybody. So I got a point from you today. I'm going to go back into my social media and check who is there. Because there are people there that I've not spoken to for years. They've never even liked anything on my page. What are you there doing? Just to add to a number? No. I rather have few people on my page that are posting valuable information that is going to help me, than to have just anybody and everybody. They see anything, they slam it on the page and it comes on your wall. And, so
Absolutely.
yeah. So guys, that is a fantastic advice. Make sure you're taking it. What other advice do you have for people watching that don't know how to use social media the right way?
Well, if you're someone who is not technologically savvy, I'll
Like
put it that
me?
way. A lot of us in my generation are beginning to struggle to
I
catch
am
up with
struggling.
how fast things are
Yeah.
coming. Like, I won't lie to you. I have my son who is, when it's too much and it's becoming too confusing, I just say to him, come
Yeah,
and help
that's
me
right.
out.
I
You
do
know.
the same
So
thing.
if you're someone who is not technologically savvy, as most of us are, then you just want to keep it simple. You
Mhm.
just want to keep it simple to stay safe. And if, for instance, if it's about another thing, I would like to say though, if you remember, there was a time when a lot of girls were turning up dead because they met people online and they were asked to come meet them in very far places, far away from home, and they went and met their death. So if you are someone who is not that good uh, with with social media, you should be careful. I would advise that you start with just accepting your friends who you know
That's right.
in the real world, because you don't want to go on um accepting friends from everybody. And of course, everyone learns with time. So you
Mhm.
want to start small. There was a time when everyone was in a hurry to get the 5,000 it's a friend
Yes.
limit.
Yes.
It was almost as though you got a trophy for getting 5,000.
Yeah.
And at that point, I had over 3,000 friend requests. And I wasn't in a hurry because I had quickly learned after someone posted something on my page that I didn't even know how it came about. And that was, a light bulb just
My
went in my
God.
head. I'm like, okay, so this is not. So for people who are not so tech savvy, you want to learn. There is no stopping. Like I will tell you though, I have friends who are 70 and they are more tech savvy than some of us because they constantly are willing to learn.
Mhm.
When I have some of them will message me and say, "Oh, someone put OMG. What does that mean?" I'm like, "Oh my God, oh no, oh my God, thanks." That's the way to go. So learning, you just have to learn. You
Mhm.
can start with your regular friends in the real world, add them to your social media, friend group, and then you just keep learning. You fiddle around your phone, you find out how certain things work. With time, we all get a hang of it, basically.
Okay. So, guys, go learn how to use social media. If you're someone like me, I am spending sleepless nights learning social media right now, struggling with a lot of things. I used to have my team that helps me with Vigo Awards. I have an award ceremony that I put up every year. So, my social media team are behind the scene helping doing all the stuff. So, I never bothered to even know how to post anything on social media. And sometimes people will call me and say, "Oh, you're on Facebook. I just sent you a message." I'm like, "No, I'm not there." It's somebody else that is posting on my wall. So, guys, let's go learn together and be safe on social media. Now, let's move to our continent and especially our country, Nigeria. Social media in Africa, it has brought so many people to ruin. There's this new one that is passing. I mean, it's been there, but I just started seeing it that our president is not the real president. They have a way of twisting the picture, and it's just so much information. How is this killing the continent Africa?
Well, I'll tell you though. First, it is the responsibility of the government to gain the people's trust. The biggest problem we face in Africa and in Nigeria especially is that there is no trust.
Mm, mm.
The people in government or the government of Nigeria have given people a reason to doubt everything.
Everything.
And so when there is no trust, the country is divided, the people are divided, and the government haven't seen it as a problem enough to want to do something about it. Doing something about it is not intimidating the people,
Mm,
is not bringing up bills and laws that ban people from their freedom to speak, to express themselves. But social media in Africa has more positives than it's been negative. I would say because we have a society where um, freedom of expression, freedom of the liberty to say what you will for for people who are of certain economic class or social status is not possible. So in Africa, we've had to deal with situations where, especially when elections are coming up, that's where we have the major problem, because then you have all these factions of people from different parties bringing an agenda and pushing it through social media. And of course, unfortunately, we have a generation of youth who are who I would say need to be re reorientated as to understanding the power that they have as as a youth of Africa and of
mhm,
Nigeria, because it is a situation where a faction of government or politicians will hire young people, and they have an agenda, and they use these young people to push that agenda. Because in Africa, and of course in Nigeria, the society is a society where you survive by having loyalty to certain um, um, octogenarian people. I'll just put it that
Just
way.
to keep it
You know,
safe. Yeah.
as opposed to the West, where I am right now, where you are as well. Young people have the liberty to think. Young people have the power to say that you
Anything.
can't buy, because I am not subject my to pay my rent, to pay my mortgage, to feed my family, to um, all I need to do is get a job, regardless of what kind of job it is. I
Mhm.
have the power to say, this is what I want to eat, this is what my family is going to eat. I can, depending on my level and whatever it is, I can manage myself that way. And
Mhm.
so I am not so much of a, I am
Dependent
not that vulnerable. I'm not that vulnerable
to
to
be
some
used.
unscrupulous human beings somewhere who have decided. Unfortunately, the society that we live in Nigeria is is a society where a young person, even though they don't agree with a certain philosophy or a certain person's agenda or what they want to do, just so that they have food on the table, just so that they have a job, just so that they are not picked on
Mhm.
made a scapegoat on
Mhm.
how. So these young people carry these people's agenda and they bring it on social media, and then
Mhm.
we find ourselves arguing and fighting on social media. And the sad part, though, is when we're done fighting, even the fight sometimes leaves social media and there's a physical fight somewhere. And unfortunately, lives are being lost
That's
in
right.
Africa.
Mhm.
And the sad part is the people you're fighting for on behalf of, who have used you to achieve a purpose because there was an agenda. When they're done using the young people, they dump them, and next thing you will see, for instance, you will see someone from the Nigerian factor. You see someone from the APC and the PDP who have been at loggerheads, and the young people just take it on their head. They're fighting on social
Yeah.
media. They're cursing each other's generation and villages and tribes and
Yeah.
ethnic groups.
Yeah.
And then these people are shaking hands and they're at a party together. And you see how, and unfortunately, a situation that this is a situation that should be handled in Africa. We need to learn, we need to teach, we need to educate young people that they are the ones with the power.
That's correct.
And of course, one of the things I say is the moment you teach African youth, young people, the moment you make them understand that they are not at the mercy of these politicians and these very wealthy people, and the crumbs that they give to them, once the mindset is changed from teaching them to understand that there's dignity in labor and you're smart enough. Everyone is born with a gift, a talent. There is something you can do, even though the government have deprived you of certain opportunities. These are opportunities that can be created as a community of young
Mhm.
people together if
Mhm.
the mindset changes and you understand that you cannot be subservient all your life to people who have not had good thoughts concerning you and
Mhm.
plans for you.
Mhm. Wow. Do you think before I ask that question, guys, thank you so much for everyone joining. For those of you joining on the watch party, please share the video in the broadcast so that you can gain this knowledge from Susan West, our guest from London. She's a TV presenter herself, and her show is coming up soon, Susan West Show. If she has I'm
Actually, Amina, the show coming up is Africa Rise.
Okay, Africa Rise. So the show is going to be on Susan West show, and the show title is Africa Rise. I would love that. When is it coming up? Coming up. Tell us about that.
We have our first episode next Sunday.
Next week Sunday. So guys, I hope you guys will be watching. It's going to be on Facebook and Instagram, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
We're
So
we're on lockdown now, so
I
everything is
know, I know.
online for now.
Adole, Isaac, Jumai, Charles, Alex, Oche, Elias, John, Simon, Dale, Nosa, Oh, no, sir. Obaseki. He's our superstar here in Canada. Big shout out. He's making the movie industry shaking and moving over here. Thank you so much, sir. Very honored to have you on the show. Odemi, all the way from Winnipeg. He's another shaker and a mover in Winnipeg. McCoy's HMB. If I don't call your name, Chuku, all the way from Philippines. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Daniel from Nigeria. Helen, my baby, I love you. Thank you guys so much. We have Jennifer, Susan. Jennifer, your friend, is here. We have
Hey,
me
Jen.
and Jennifer. We have a history together. We're gonna drop that maybe just before you leave. Um, let's talk a little bit about the power of the youth with media in Nigeria, just Nigeria. Right now, with the COVID-19 virus thing, with the vaccination coming, with all the changes, they're talking about a particular currency that they're going to bring. There is just so much stuff going on, like so much information. What is your advice for everyone that have access to the media in Nigeria? What should they be doing? There's so much confusion. The fear is bringing so much fear and killing people. Let them hear from you that is in that media. You've been a presenter on TV for years, not from Queen that lives in Canada that knows nothing about Nigeria, they would say. But you have been there, you were there, you knew, you know what is going on. Please send your advice to us.
I'll be candid with you. Unfortunately, I am not very optimistic as to how the mainstream media in Nigeria is operating. The reason is because they say, in not being critical of anybody in particular, but it's just the way things work in Nigeria, where a particular government take over, and the media is not totally free to up to um, is not free to do as they should, to be professional in the way they disseminate information.
That's
And
because they are
we've
being
had
bought over, right? That's because they're being bought over. They're being sponsored by
absolutely
particular
we
cabals.
absolutely the thing is, mainstream media, every media around the world have been bought over by some people.
Mhm.
But the problem with Nigeria, the Nigerian situation is much more dire, because it's almost as if to say, if you said something that doesn't suit the government of the day, then you're they ask you not to come back into, when the press is invited, your media outfit is not invited, you're not allowed to come and cover the situation or the event. And so the mainstream media in Nigeria has become one-sided. So people don't have trust for that mainstream media, and that has given birth to everyone turning to social media to get the real story. And unfortunately, coming to social media doesn't mean that you're going to get the real story, because everyone is emotionally attached to a particular faction of
Something.
the government. And so what you're going to be hearing from me is totally going to be different from what you're hearing from the other person who is in, even though there are people who are neutral. Like me, I'd like to think that I'm neutral
I'm
to a
very
great
neutral
extent,
too.
because what I believe is, when there is injustice, when there are lies that is blatant lies, that we point it out. If the other media houses who could have acted as some kind of check and balance for the country is not allowed that privilege to do so.
Mhm.
So um, with the COVID-19 thing, and the it's a terrible situation we find ourselves all around the world. And if you are a Christian, you're even in a more difficult position, where you're not even sure if it's the scriptures about to fulfill
That's
itself,
true.
or if it's some just men of the world trying to act as gods. And one of the problems we have also is that we have a society where more than half of the populace is not that educated.
Hmm.
And it is a situation where the ones that are a bit educated, some of them are have half-baked education, to the point where they are misinforming the people who are stark illiterate, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak, with
Mm-hmm.
what's going on, because they too don't understand. And the people who are really, really educated and smart enough to understand what the situation is are too scared to speak because they're afraid of the consequences of the government coming at you.
Mm.
And so we find ourselves in a situation where the people are not being told what they should know. For instance, I've been here, and most of the things stories I get from either friends who are back home, family who are back home, or things I also read online. And don't forget, I'm also reading these things from certain mainstream media from back home online. And so it's quite difficult to get what the truth is. But you can find, you can pick from here and pick from there and begin to understand, put together and see a clear picture of what is going on. We're in a situation where some people back home don't believe about that the coronavirus is real. They don't believe it. I saw a video of someone who said it's a big man disease, and it's only people who enter aeroplane that get the virus. And that was very scary, because you're thinking, if someone is thinking that it's only people who enter aeroplane that get this disease, okay, fine. If it's only people who get enter aeroplane that get the disease that get it, when they do get it, have you also found out that it's a communicable disease? So when they do get it off the plane and they come into the larger society, some of them will be your neighbors, or some people you're working for, or some people you go to church with. Have you thought about how you're going to be vulnerable to or susceptible to
To
getting the
touch.
virus,
Yeah.
even though you haven't gone on a plane? So the government haven't done much, and
Mm.
it's almost as if the government just decide what they will, copy and paste syndrome of taking what's happening
The
in the
Western
West,
world.
and they just paste it, and it's just blanketed like that. It's like that. For instance, I'm here. Of course, you're in Canada, and there are opportunities for you if you haven't been working. I haven't been working for the past four or
Mhm.
5 weeks since we started to stay at home.
Mhm.
Um, if, for instance, I run out of money and I can't feed my family, I'm not going to be going to bed hungry,
Yeah.
because there are so
There's
many. There are
provision.
grants here. There
Yeah.
are
Lots
different
of
ways.
provisions. Yeah.
There's food banks. I don't take all these things, but if the need arises, these things are available. What
Available.
is there that is in Nigeria that is available to the people, to the masses, that the government have put in place before they've asked the people to stay at home and not go to work? So it's almost it's quite confusing. In as much as you want to tell the people, take it seriously, stay at home, you don't have the voice to want to say things like that, because
They're
people
hungry.
need money, they need food.
Yeah.
There's no other way for them to get all these things. And so, of course, as usual, the only people who are doing anything about it are set. For instance, there's some celebrities who would
Yes.
come up and
Individuals.
do
Yeah.
it, and God bless their hearts, God
Mhm.
bless them. Those are the kind of things that we have started doing a long time ago through the Susan West show. And unfortunately, I'm not back home, and even if I was back home in Nigeria, how many people can I possibly help?
That's what I wanted to say. An individual alone cannot do it. Like when this whole thing started, my organization, again, not to blow our whistles, I usually never say what I do. I just do quiet things. But we have been, of help to a lot of communities in our own little ways. But the question is, even this morning, I received a message on WhatsApp. I've been receiving messages. Please help us. We don't have food to eat. And I asked myself this morning, after my morning prayers, I said, okay, how many of these people can I help? I can't, because I don't have any machine that anybody say money. I go pushing the button and print it out. And we don't have that. So we need everybody to step on and, really, really start helping. Since the government is not doing much, we can continue to do the things that you can do in your own little way, in your own neighborhood, in your own society, even just where you're living next door. When I started the show, I gave an example of how I didn't know that my next door neighbor here, it's an elderly woman that needed just someone to go to grocery store to help her purchase grocery and bring back to her home. She was in the house for more than a week with no grocery. And I didn't know that they were just purchasing Uber Eat and fast food. I didn't know. I just went by just to say hello, and it's like, "Oh, Queen, can you go to the store for me?" I'm like, "Yes, that gives me something to do." I was so excited.
Right. Right.
That I get to go outside, and such little help, brought so much smile to her. When I came home, if you watch my very first video, I was crying. Where the way she was saying thank you broke me into tears. So there are so many things, guys, you guys can do out there. I know we've gone past our 1 hour here. Before I let you go, two things. I have one last question for you, and you're going to sing a song for us. It's our
Okay.
birthday, so everybody's expecting a musician, but this is more important than just singing. So, guys, every Friday, yes, it's Fun Friday, and you're expecting musicians to perform live. It's not going to be that way every time, because this is important. Social media is killing a lot of people. So we need to talk about it. Susan is here today telling us the good, the bad, the ugly of social media and the best of social media. She touched on the point of how powerful media can be in a positive way, and also how dangerous the power of media can be. So go back, watch the video, share it, do a watch party like I'm doing right now, and listen to her again. All right, so do you have a song for me? I want to dance.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure you want to dance to this song I've decided to do.
No problem.
I want to do a gospel
Dance.
song because
Okay.
this is a time where gospel music is very, very, whether you're a Christian or not, somebody wants to hear something positive in a world full of too many
Correct.
negative things happening, people
Correct.
dying, people falling sick, people are
Mhm.
broke, people are poor, people are hungry. And um, because I'm trying to play from a karaoke stuff so that I can have some music backing. So just
Sure.
give me a moment.
Sure. No
Right.
worries, guys. So please share the broadcast. I think she's ready. Okay, let me shut up.
Are you ready for the song?
Yes. Woo! Thumbs up, guys. I'm ready.
Can you hear the sound?
Yes.
Life is easy when you're up on the mountain
Ooh.
and you've got peace of mind like you've never known.
Wow.
But then things change when you're down in the valley. Don't despair, for you're never alone.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
For the God of the mountain is still God in the valley.
Hallelujah. Amen.
When things go wrong, you make them right.
Amen.
And the God of the good times is still God in the bad times. The God of the day is still God in the night.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
You talk of faith,
Mm.
When you're up on the mountain, it's easy to say you have faith without problems,
Yes,
but the talk comes easy when life is at its best. But it is down in the valley of trials and temptation. That's when faith is really put to the test.
that's right. Amen.
For the God of the mountain is the God in the valley.
Amen.
When things go wrong, He'll make them right.
Amen.
And the God of the good time is still God in the bad time. The God of the day is still
It's
God. God in the night.
Amen.
For the God of the mountain is still God in the valley.
Mm.
When things go wrong, He'll make them right.
Woo.
And the God of the good time is still God in the bad times. He never changes. The
Amen.
God of the day is still God in the night. The God of the day is still God in the night.
Susan, I've always known you to be a super singer. And when you know someone can really sing, when their voice is not magnified, there's no microphone, there's no nothing, just straight up from the heart. Thank you so much for that wonderful number. The God of the mountain is still God in the valley. The God of the day is still God in the night. The God of
Absolutely.
yesterday is still God of today. That is a super encouragement to somebody out there. I hope this song blesses you. Susan West, I cannot say thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so, so very much. I know how busy it is with two young children at home, husband, work, and everything. And you took out time to come spend over an hour with us. Thank you. God bless you.
The
God
hour went really fast, though. I
I
must say
know,
that.
I know. You see, when I said 1 hour, you're like, "Oh, it's too long." I said, "No, it's it's fun, it's fun." Yeah. So, just before you leave us, your heartfelt advice for everyone watching today in regards to the COVID-19 and the power of media, how we can either destroy or bless you.
Well, my final words for today on the power of social media and COVID-19 is one, use social media as a positive tool. Use it to add value to your life and to other people's lives. And always be positive. Times will change again. When it comes to COVID-19, everyone keeps saying, wash your hands, wear a nose mask. And also, yes, I'm going to quickly use this opportunity to say something. I saw something about NAFDAC in Nigeria. Of course, I used to be a presenter for the NAFDAC program for over a decade, saying they talked about the Ankara nose mask not being safe. It doesn't keep you safe from COVID-19. I have used different kinds of nose mask here, and I've also made one myself. The truth of the matter is, because the government don't have better alternative, make whatever you can make with whatever fabric. What's important is having a filter on the inside, a
Mhm,
filter, because
mhm.
even the flimsy ones, you see the ones with that looks like green color, it's so flimsy, and The only difference is there's a filter in there. There's an appropriate kind of filter you can use. So yes, keep cover your nose, not because it's gonna keep COVID, it's gonna protect you 100%, but it will reduce the chances of you getting infected by someone sneezing or someone talking, and the vapor is coming towards you. You can't see it, obviously. And of
Mhm.
course, wash your hands and have bleach at home, sterilize. Always make sure that the door handles, your toilet door handles, your main door is always sanitized, because we keep touching it. And of course, you cannot, since they don't have even the world bodies are not even sure what the treatment should be, but we know that there's always solution in nature. So we these things you must have at home. You must have garlic, you must have turmeric, you must have lemon, you must have ginger, you must have all these things. The funny thing is, all the natural remedies have the ability to protect you, so to speak. And if for any reason you contract the disease, the evidence from different testimonies have shown that these are the ways that people have been able to come out of it. So keep safe, wash your hands, wear a nose mask, try to stay away from going into the public and rubbing bodies. In Nigeria, I'm not seeing a lot of social distancing being observed,
Yeah.
but whatever you can do, and constantly try to do what I call heat therapy, where you come home, you've been exposed to so many people, you don't want to find out in 14 days time if COVID-19 is real or not. Put hot water in a pot or a bucket and cover yourself the local way we do it back
Yeah,
home.
that's
Cover
right.
yourself,
That's right.
inhale the heat for 10 to 15 minutes, drink. Even if it's just warm water with a squeeze of lemon juice. What I do, I'll tell you though, what I do every morning is a cup with green tea in it, and then I put in a squeeze of lemon juice, and I put my apple cider vinegar. There is the one with the mother. The mother is the one that has the
Mhm.
live bacteria that is good
Mhm.
for your guts. So
Mhm.
every morning, that's my first thing I do. That's my ritual for the morning before
Mhm.
anything else. You do that, and if you think you're coming down with a sore throat, and you don't want to find out if it's just a sore throat or it's a COVID-19 sore throat. So you want to go to bed drinking something warm and taking all these natural home remedies, and
Mhm.
before you go to bed, make sure you try to make sure that you're hydrated properly all the time. Drink a lot of water, drink a lot of water, eat a balanced diet. And eating a balanced diet doesn't necessarily mean that you have to eat big man. It's just go to the market, buy ugu leaf, buy fish, buy any kind of protein you prefer. You know, make some vegetable, eat right, eat less carbohydrates, eat more
Vegetable.
veggies and fruits. And if you can, take some vitamins and make sure you're always hydrated. And of course, we found out that vitamin D is very important this time. I'm not sure if vitamin D is going to be so needed on the continent of Africa where there
Yeah.
is abundance of
That's right.
sun.
Yeah.
But here, vitamin D is one of the things that is advised that people should take to
Perfect. So
protect themselves from
I'm gonna
COVID-19.
lay out this. Just tell our audience how to follow you before you leave us.
Oh yes. So Africa Rise is coming up next week Sunday. We will be talking. It's a program that it's all about. We want to sensitize the people, the young people, the millennials of Africa, the continent Africa. We want to tell them. We want to awaken in them the zeal and the love and the passion for Africa, and make them understand that it's all in their power to bring about that change that Africa so desires at this point. And so you can follow me on Susan West Instagram, Susan West, and YouTube, Susan West, and Facebook, it's Susan West. And all the platforms that you have access to, you just want to type Susan West and make sure you're seeing the space, because there are other people with the name Susan West as well. And we will be live streaming um, our program from next Sunday.
All right. Thank you so, so very much for your time today, ladies and gentlemen. It's Susan West from London, England. You have a wonderful day and God bless you. May his face shine upon you. May he give you an enlarged coast where you would reach the world, not just
Amen.
in Africa, but everywhere in the world. God bless you and my best regards to your family.
Thank you so much for having me. My pleasure.
Take care. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You made my day for joining us today. That was Susan West from London, England. We are going to be having our Church Without Borders to Sunday. So if you have biblical questions that have been bothering you and you could never ask them on Sundays, please send those questions to me. My WhatsApp number is rolling right at the bottom there. We're going to have a pastor that is going to be answering all of those questions. And we have our cultural day tomorrow, and we have Janet Otiene coming to share with us a culture from Kenya, and she would be doing some songs for us too. And guys, if you know Oyibo Princess, she's going to be on our show on the 4th of May. So don't forget to join us. Go Google her. I was going to play one of her funny things today. She's a British girl that speaks pidgin English and she eats every Nigerian food. So she's super funny. I love her. So she's going to be live on our show May 4th. Same time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. GMT. So don't miss out. For now, we are on a daily show every single day. Earlier on, I gave a shout out to two of my favorite people that are helping me put the show up every day. Lillian Emefiele, she has her show, Healthy Gist with Lillian, and she has another show also on Facebook Live. Every day she has an episode going on now. I joined it today. It was super interesting. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. I think Nigerian time. So make sure you're connecting with Lillian Emefiele. So on Facebook. And then we have Isokem IB. Her handle is official Isokem IB on Instagram. She is doing a show about the world of movie industry. Where is it going? How is it going? How is it doing? How can new people come into the industry? A lot of good information. So please follow these two ladies and follow Moi also at DE Queen Amina. DE Queen Amina. DE. I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Until tomorrow, God bless you. And I would see you same time, same place tomorrow. Take care.